Welcome everybody to the world according to Mr. Rue. My name is Mr. Rue. Welcome to another episode. I have a story to tell you in regards to where your kids are. Yeah, I know I've been thinking about this for some time. It's summertime, but all throughout the year, there should be a question. Do you know where your kids are? But before I go into that story, disclaimer. These are the personal views of Mr. Rue on the show. So if you don't like it, oh well, these are my views. This is my show. So again, hopefully you enjoy this. But I'm gonna start off with the story. I'm gonna make it very short. One night I was at 7-Eleven. It was about 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, and I was going up there to go to the ATM and get a little snacks. I drove up and I see some police lights. I'm like, what's going on? It's 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night. Not saying that it doesn't have to be late and police not be out, but it's like, what's going on over there? So I drove up. I see four young high school kids in handcuffs. I'm like, oh no. So I walk inside, ask my guys what's going on, and there was another young adult there with me, and we just kind of stood out there and just observing the situation. And, the sheriffs handled it pretty well. I know in today's time in media, there's a lot of crazy things going on, but for this time the sheriffs handled it pretty okay. But I guess what had happened was these young men were accused of theft, robbery. Somebody got robbed somewhere down the street or up the street, whatever. So they were trying to identify them, but it wasn't them. So they had let them go. But I look up and there was four other young girls coming down the street. Apparently they knew each other and they were this there, for support. I'm like, it's 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, close to 11. I'm like, what y'all doing out just walking around, riding around and getting it in the street? So I'm like, no, this is late. I think it's curfew, at least in the United States, right? So I was asking my man, I was like, man, these kids walking around the streets. He was like, man, their parents probably out too. So, they're going to be walking the streets. Parents don't know where they at. They just doing their thing because their parents probably doing the same thing. So, if the kids are out riding around to get it, you best to believe the parents are out riding around to get it. Well, if the kids are actually walking around to get it because, they don't have no car, but you know what I'm saying. I'm like, this is not right, especially in today's world. Now, I knew growing up as a kid, you try to hang out, but I know hanging out, I'm trying to be inside a place somewhere, especially as an adult. I'm at movies, the club, my house, somebody else. I'm trying to get to a location, but I'm like, how do you not know where your kids are? You can't. This is not the time to be like that. So I'm just asking this question: do you know where your kids are? Do you really know? Because the odds are, if you don't know, it's because you're out there riding around and getting it too. So that's the theme of today: riding around and getting it. Find out what that means. If you don't know, now you know. All right. So let me know what you think about that, because really, remember what your parents used to say: when the street lights come out, your butt should be in the house. I still believe that to today. You should know where your kids are. Your kids should know where you're at also, and how to get in touch with you. But most importantly, you should know where your kids are at. So I'm going to leave you with that thought. I'd love to hear from you. What do you think about that? Do you think you should know where your kids are and your kids should know where you're at, even though you're an adult? Let me know. The world according to Mr. Rue. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you for watching. Peace.